Hello, Micronesia. Welcome back. This is the Micro Pro Talk Show.
I'm Nigel James.
And I'm Ozzy Eagleup.
We're talking about real conversations, real issues, right here from Pohnpei.
Let's get into it. Once again, this video is sponsored by Paradise Radio 89.5 FM, the longest running radio station here on the beautiful island of Pohnpei.
Welcome back. We're so glad you're here. This is our second episode. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to go talking about the big tropical storm that's going through the Micronesia region, as well as the veterinarian clinic here in the island of Pohnpei, and talking about all of your generous feedback and support from our last episode.
Here's what's coming out of our communities this week.
This is Island Feed.
Yeah, so we sent a team out to visit those guys at the vet clinic. So let's hear a little bit of information from them.
My name is Lisa Barrow. I came to Pohnpei in 2002 with Australian volunteers. I worked as a teacher at Pat's High School, where I met my husband, Augustine Kohler, who was also teaching at Pat's at the time. And we've started our non-profit, Kitty Ong Ong. My husband and I decided, rather than feel sorry for all the animals that are not doing well, not being looked after, we would help the vet who's been coming to Pohnpei for 21 years from Guam, Dr. Joel, and set up a clinic to make it easier. So the vet comes out twice a year for 5 to 7 days and does some surgery, but that leaves 50 weeks of the year without any care. So what we've decided to do is make like a dispensary for animals where we can do simple procedures under the guidance from the vet in Guam. We're offering vaccines for cats and dogs, and any simple procedures that the vet guides us through to help with any animal illnesses on the island. So today we're working on the plumbing. Next week we're working on the electrical, and we have the roof. We're going to have a deck in between the two buildings to give us extra space. So we're hoping to have all that finished for when the vet comes out in May. So he's looking to coming out towards the end of May. The dates aren't set yet. Mostly it will be vaccines. So when puppies and kittens, when they stop feeding from their mother, and then they're not protected by their mother's antibodies. So the vet recommends that puppies and kittens be vaccinated at 6 weeks, 10 weeks and 14 weeks. So he's allowed us to offer those vaccines now. He signed it off as being competent to do that. So we offer that on Saturday mornings. But other things that we can do is provide parasite prevention medicine, like worming medicine, flea and tick medicine, things like that. And we also have some brochures for people who may be interested and maybe they've never had a pet before and they would want a little bit more information on how to properly care for their pet. But we are more than willing to work with agriculture, and our ultimate goal would be to have a vet permanently based in Pohnpei. And ideally that vet would be both a farm animal vet and a companion animal pet. So we're sort of talking, I can't see that happening anytime soon, but we've got to start from somewhere. At the moment, we're just doing Saturday mornings 9 to 12. But if we get busier or if there's a demand, we'd certainly open up for longer hours or on different days. So our email is kittyongong@gmail.com. For emergencies, call 921-4928. And we do have a Facebook page and we do have a website. So you can also contact us on Messenger if it's just Facebook/Kitty Ong Ong. I would like to acknowledge the help that we've had from the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives. We recently got a grant for $18,000 You can see looking around, we have some rather large boxes, and that's of some medical equipment. We have an operating table, we have surgical lights, we have professional recovery cages that are in those big boxes, and we have a steam sterilizer for sterilizing the instruments for surgery. So that's all been purchased with input from the vet in Guam. So, and we're going to celebrate 21 years of the vet coming to Pohnpei this year. So we'll have a little silver jubilee celebration, and of course fundraising along with that, to help us continue to pay for the airfares and the per diems for the nurses when they visit twice a year.
Well, that was some very good information to have, and thank you, Lisa, for sharing that information with us. And we look forward to them opening up the clinic and the services that they offer to the pets, our animals, like dogs and other vaccines that they have.
Yep.
It's very good stuff. Thank you for sharing that information with us. Don't miss this.
Now it's time for...
Real talk.
All right, so let's get into it. We've got a pretty serious subject that we're going to be talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype right now about the big tropical storm, the typhoon, or that turned into a super typhoon.
Yep.
Typhoon, tropical storm, or typhoon Sinlaku. Like a lot of people, I had to reach out to some of my Kashrian friends because according to some posts that I've seen, like the name Sinlaku, everybody's been calling it that. It's a Kashrian goddess. So I reached out to some of my Kashrian friends here on the island, and they told me that the proper way to say it is Sinlaku, not Sinlaku. So that was something interesting to me, and also at the same time paying our respects to the brothers and sisters of our sister states in
Where it came
Kashrian,
from, yeah.
where it came from. Yes, but yeah, this is by far the strongest storm, typhoon that of the year 2026 that's ever hit us here in the Micronesian region.
Yeah, Guam was saying that they have never had a storm. I mean, there were people who said they've never had a storm this big.
Right?
In there was one lady who said 20 years she's been in Guam, she's never had a storm that big. But Guam was not as bad as Chub, I don't think. I mean,
Oh no, we were lucky here in Pohnpei that it just like sort of didn't become that strong and didn't really hit us that hard. But once it reached Chuk, I believe it was a Category 4 typhoon at the time. But still, the devastation was just, it was huge.
but like Guam has all the infrastructure to protect them from those kinds of things. There's going to be broken stuff, but Chuk, I mean, it's not the same.
Oh, it's not, like erosion everywhere, buildings like demolished, poles, communication towers just totally like destroyed, rocks and debris all over the roads, areas flooded. Those people in low-lying areas, and especially in the outer islands, I'm pretty sure they got hit by it pretty hard. But
Yeah.
some of my friends in Chuk, his name is Timothy Ruda, but he was very good posting some content and updates on online on Facebook or just online in general. And also this other guy, shout out, we thank Lee Arkey Perez Photography for providing the footage here, as you can see. Very good stuff, and it's good we're putting it out there. Our prayers is with our sister states in Chuk and all the other states in Micronesia that were affected by this. But according to Tim Ruda, like he said, like right after the aftermath, I believe it was on Monday morning, or just Monday, the entire community, people were coming out with their machetes, their chainsaws,
Helping each other out.
yeah, their
Either way.
shovels, or just their bare hands, and just cleaning up, like doing what they can. Like the storm has passed, but the people are still here, and we can rebuild and reconstruct, and we got this. We got this.
Yeah.
But our love and prayers go out to our brothers and sisters in Chuk, and we hope everything is okay. I believe it was that PUC here in Pohnpei. They sent out four of their linemen to go out and help out the CPUC in Chuk with the like putting back up, getting electricity back up, fixing thing, getting electricity back up and running. And really, it was they left, I believe, on
The national government.
national government
National Police.
patrol boat. Yeah. But they brought in with some supplies, a bunch of oil, and a lot of helpers, a lot of other helpers that just went out there to assist with their sister states.
Yeah, there were some concerns about, right after a storm happens, people need to be able to get their resources. They need to get their food, their gas, that kind of thing.
Mm.
And there were some concerns on social media about price gouging, and that was a huge time.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, it's a state a state emergency. Like that's not really the time we should like increase prices on on goods and stuff that people need in case of an emergency.
And somebody was saying gas was up to like $12 a gallon in Chuk for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
Governor Arun came in and he's like, look, remember, this is a law. No price gouging, price freeze on everything during a time of crisis.
It was crazy. Like the community came together to help out each other. The government, first responders are also doing their best, doing what they can to get everything back up and running. But yeah, look, it's beautiful to see people come together like that.
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
in an emergency, or they just came together. They didn't ask. There was no announcement. They just saw what needed to be done, and then they went out and they started doing it.
I expect there to be a lot more. I know that the island of Pohnpei itself, even like the Catholic school here and other organizations are working together to try to fundraise so that they can send their support there.
I like a good saying that one of the posts that my friend Tim Ruda posted on his Facebook was it was part of that post on the Monday cleanup, like after the aftermath.
Yeah.
And he said somebody somewhere was doing something. Like
It sounds like nothing, but at the same time,
no,
everybody was
it
doing
was
something.
like somebody somewhere on the island, regardless of where they were cleaning something, cutting something, fixing something, and they were doing it together. Whatever they could do, they just went ahead and did it.
Yeah, that's great. That's the island way. It should be.
That's the island way. I love that. That's amazing. But then after it passed Chuuk, it turned into a super typhoon before it could hit Guam. And then so Guam, they didn't really get hit by the eye of the storm, but the winds were incredibly stronger. It got stronger, stronger winds than it was in Chuuk. But it was really mainly CNMI, Saipan, Rota, Tinian. Those areas were really the ones who got really hit hard by the eye of the storm.
We got a lot of footage that we were reaching out to folks trying to ask if we could use their footage, but we weren't able to get any of that on here. But you can search CNMI Saipan on TikTok, YouTube, all that. Yeah. But I mean, like Saipan though, that's pretty crazy because they've never really experienced it like that because it didn't just. I remember Typhoon Dolphin that came here on the island, in Pohnpei, and it came and it was like, okay, there was a storm during the day and then nighttime, and by the morning it cleared up and it was gone. But Saipan was like all day today, all day tomorrow. It was like moving 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's slow, but it just complete destruction.
Just getting battered and battered. It's like being on a storm in the sea. It's basically what they are as an island. So, yeah, prayers to everybody out there. Hope you guys have safe recoveries. I think going back to Chuuk, though, now that I think about it, there was somebody mentioning that there was one death and one person was missing.
And that's only what's been reported so far. Like, we don't know if those numbers are still the same or like what happened on the other outer islands of Chuuk aside from Ueno.
Yeah.
But definitely the whole island, all the islands were affected by that.
When you live that close to the edge of the ocean, like the edge of the reef and all that, you're going to be battered. So
Hopefully that's the end of it and everybody can just focus on recovering and everything. Recovering, rebuilding, all that.
Yep. All right. So at this point, I want to talk about, all the great people that were sharing and liking on our last video. It was our
Our
first attempt.
very first one, but it turned out way better than we expected.
As of the time that we're doing the filming of the show, we had about 118,000 views, which blows us away. That's more than our population. So
Right?
360 shares and four some thousand likes. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.